The number one reason why a practice won't hit breakthrough is they get overwhelmed by distractions. Hey, and let's face it, that every practice on the planet is going to experience distractions. Mine, yours, every one of our listeners. Maybe we're having trouble hiring. Maybe we've got some HR issues in the practice. Maybe our marketing isn't quite firing on all cylinders. Maybe we've got the need for more technology, but we aren't financially successful enough to yet invest in more technology. So we all going to hit distractions. The practices that make breakthrough deal with the distractions while continuing to make progress on the flywheel effect. They don't let the distractions they don't let the distractions derail them. They don't let them derail.
Yeah, another way maybe people can think about this, Gary. I heard of somebody who's late, Chet Holmes. He talks about companies that are successful, and he said the most successful people and companies, they don't do 10,000 things. They do 10 things 10,000 times. Whether it's Google reviews, whether it's whitening, they just find out what those 10 or 5 or 6 or 15 things, and they do it again and again. So what you're saying is, to create the breakthrough, you need to find out what your X number of things. I know you work with.
Well, let me get very specific with it. It's the 24 systems and the 9 KPIs. It's the 24 systems. The systems are what create the foundation of your practice. And then the 9 KPIs, and by the way, all of the 24 systems support the 9 KPIs, 9 key performance indicators.
So you're saying those 9 KPIs are like the part of the flywheel. And as long as, like one of the KPIs is, number of Google reviews, how many teeth whitening cases did you complete this month? So
Google reviews is a great example. Google reviews is a great example. So what we often see with our clients is we teach them a system for consistently getting more Google reviews, and they light up to it, and they dive into it, and they start to see great results. What I mean by that is maybe the office has historically gotten 2 reviews a month, which is pretty much pathetic. Let me just put it that way. It's pathetic. But now we teach them a system to pay attention to Google reviews, and now they're consistently getting 14 Google reviews a month. That's a common end result that we see. And they do it for a couple months, but then they get distracted on something else, and next thing you know, they're not doing Google reviews anymore, and they're back down to 2 a month. That's a practice that will never hit breakthrough because they got derailed by the distractions. And it's a matter of, yes, deal with the distractions. You can't stick your head in the sand and pretend they're not happening. Deal with those. But don't let them derail you. Continue to always be working on practice development, which leads me to the next point from the book. And this is, I'm going to bring in an influence from Stephen Covey that relates to this. Stephen Covey makes a big distinction between that which is urgent versus that which is important. And one of the comments that Stephen Covey says, and I believe this with every ounce of my DNA, never let something urgent distract you from that which is important. Let me give you an example. The phone's ringing in your practice, and on the surface, that is something that is urgent, because if we don't answer the phone, it could be a new patient, right? Yes. And we might miss our opportunity for a new patient. So the phone ringing is urgent. But it may not be important because it could be a telemarketer. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So urgencies in your practices are the distractions that come up. Yes, they're urgent, but never let them get in the way of spending time and attention on that which is important. So another really important distinction, pay attention to understanding the distinction. How do you spend your time? Do you spend your time on urgencies, or do you spend your time on things that are important?